Hi all, welcome to Guide Coaching Classes. My name is Moazzam Ali and today we are going to revise our previous topic which we have started or which we have completed into our previous session, that is the correlated query. What is correlated query and nested query? First of all, we'll see that. So nested query is nothing but the query within a query. The outer query is called as a main query and the inner query called as a subquery. When in nested query, what happens is the inner query or the subquery executes only once, and then the result is given to the main query, and then it process that input output as a intake input, and then it process the output, the final output. But in correlated query, what happens is it take it every time, each time, whenever the it executes the inner query every time the row changes. As per the row, as per the records, the inner query execute, and then it provides the result to the outer query, and then the outer query perform the final output. So that is how that is the difference, and that is majorly asked question into an interview. What is the difference between nested query or single level query, or multiple column queries and correlated query. So correlated query is very famous query. So I recommend and I request you to practice it and learn about it more. I have taken the examples, I have taken the definition, so you can if you go through those videos as well, that will also be sufficient. Now, what is exist and not exist? So these exist and not exist are basically returns a true and false condition when a certain condition is given into the subquery. This part is basically used with nested queries, or the into the subquery part, where we have certain condition and we want to check that condition that it is true or not. At that time we use exit. If that condition is true, it returns true. If that exists, it returns true. If it does not exist, it returns false. Whereas for non-exist, it will take the value, and it gives us the not exist as a value. So that is how the definition is. Then if you want to see the example, or want to see the syntax, so it is like this. You can see right here we have select column names, we have multiple columns, we can put multiple columns, then we will write from, and then we'll write table name, then we'll write where is the condition exist, and then we'll give the subquery, and we can write any condition over there, and then it will be executed, and the subquery will be executed first, and then it will give the result. If it is true, then exist will be true, and then we'll proceed with the main query. And if it is not exist, then we will write not exist, and then if it does not exist, then it will give the true. Okay, so exist will give true if the result is true. Not exist will give true if that record is not present. Okay, so now that is the revision. Now we will see our today's topic, that is the how to use insert into and select into table. Okay, sorry, my camera is very badly broken, so I might not be, you might not be able to see me, but you can, always focus on my voice, and we will proceed. Anyways, so what is insert into and select into? So the first of all, insert into is a very basic, statement which we have used into our initial, topics we have covered, where we have discussed about insert into. So when we create any table, we need to insert values into that particular table. So for that purpose, we use insert into. We can insert values on the basis of two ways. We have two conditions where we can enter the data into the table. The first one is we can either follow the sequence of that particular of that particular data, where we are entering the data to that particular system, or else we can create our own sequence, and we need to define that sequence into the after the table name which we give. So we have seen it. I don't want to repeat that thing now. We can you can go and see my previous videos on how to insert values into the database or into the table. Okay, now still I will give you certain syntax so that you can recall it. Insert into table name we'll give, and then we'll write values, and then we give the column names. If we want to give any particular sequence, we can define that sequence after table name right here, and then we can write the values according to those columns. Okay, now we'll see select into. What is select into? Now select into is used, statement is used to create the replica. So whenever we have certain condition where we a question is asked, basically mostly on this question on this topic, that is how you will create a replica of that present table without creating any new table. So you want to create a replica, you want to copy the name of the columns, you want to copy the data types of that particular column, you want to copy the values of that particular column, but name should be different. So at that time we will use select into, and then we will give the values. So how we do it, we generally write it select star into, then we write new table from old table. Now here what we can do is we have three ways. That is the first way which I have shown. This is the very simple, where we are copying all the columns from the old table to the new table. Okay, and we are writing select star into new table from old table. Okay, so now we can also give the condition as well. We have the ways to create the tables. We can either select all the columns from that particular table, or we can select certain columns from that particular table, from the old table. So if we want, if our old table has 6 columns, but we want only 3 columns to be copied into the new table, then we will give those 3 columns name first, then we'll write into, and then we'll write the new table name, and then we'll write from table name. Then we can create give the where condition as well. Now we have another way is we can use select statement with multiple tables as well. So we can use the uh, when we want to merge two tables and create a new table, which will be combination of table A and table B. At that time we can also use this. So how we can do that, I will show you that quickly. So first of all, what we have learned is insert into. We'll see that first, then we'll see select into. Okay, so the first thing is I have this table select star from. Now if you see, I have total 8 records, and my last employee ID is 108. Now insert into. Now I am inserting this value. So I am following the first method, that is the employee ID, DID, first name, last name, and then salary. So I don't need to define the column names, and I will execute this. So my query is executed successfully. If I execute it now, I will be seeing now 9 records. See, I am able to see 9 records. This is how insert into works. We have seen it already. So now we will see select into. Select into. So now what I have done is select star from. Select star into which table? This is my new table and this is my old table. So what I will do, I will execute this. So I have already executed this, so I will execute this now. So this is copied. So before executing, before adding this record, I have copied this. So this, the old table contains the contract based employee, contains only 8 records. Now that is the first, that I have copied all the tables from all the columns from the employee table. This is the first condition where I have copied all the columns. Now I wanted to copy selected columns, that is employee ID, first name, salary. Employee ID this, first name this, and salary this. Only 1, 2, and 3, 3 columns. So I have, what I have done is I have written select employee ID, first name, last, sorry, first name, then I have written salary into contract based. Now this is the new table which I am creating from where? From employee table. Okay, now if I execute this, I can see only three columns are created from the this table contract base. This contract base is created. So that is how the selected columns works. Now we will see if I execute, if I merge two tables, that is first is my department table and the second one is this table. So what I will do, I will write it here. I will write select star from department. Now this is my department table. So if you see, I have 9 records, 9 records into the employee table and 3 records into my department table. Now what I did, I took first name from employee table, first name from employee table, department manager from department table, salary from employee table, and location from department table. So these 4 columns, I have taken 2 columns from employee table and 2 columns from department table. Now what I have done is how we do it. We simply write select and then we write the column names over here. Then we will write into, that is our syntax, into which, into this table, into the new table name from where, from old table. Now we will write a left join. We will simply join two tables, department D and employee E. That is, and we will join on the basis of DID. So D dot DID and E dot DID. That is how first of all we will join those two tables, and then we will take those columns. We will write those columns, but ultimately it will join those tables first and then create the third table. So this is my employee department is a joint table which will hold first name, manager, salary and location. First name, manager, salary and location. These 4 columns it holds. That's how we can use multiple joins, and we can join multiple tables, and we can create the schema without hampering any schema. We can create the replica of multiple tables in a single go. That is how the select into works. We have seen a quick review. We have seen this select into with all the columns with we have seen select into with selected columns, and we have seen select into with two or more than two tables, we using joins. Okay, now moving on to our next important expression. It is also widely asked into an interview question, that is, if you have multiple condition to check, how you will check them. So in other languages, if you have seen, we have switch in C++, Java. We use switch over there. So we what we have into that switch, we write switch, and then we take a condition, and then we have case, then we write break, then we have another case 1, case 2, case 3, n number of cases, and we write end, oh sorry, we write default, and then we end that case. Okay, so similarly here as well, we have the case expression, where we will be having if else expression in other conditions in other languages. It is a combination of if else, where if else is only, it takes two conditions, but in switch it takes multiple conditions. So, and case also takes more than one condition. So it is a extension of if else. And the other thing is, it can be used with insert, update and delete. Now it can also be used by order by, where clause and group by. We can also have the conditions with when, then, and with default as a end condition. Okay, now we'll see the syntax of it. Okay, so the syntax is simple. We will write case, we'll write case. This is basically for column, not for the table. We have we are checking for select column 1, column 2, and we have for column 3 we have certain conditions. So what we will write over there, we will write case, and then we'll write when condition 1, then print this. If this is the true, then print this. If this is true, then print this. If when, we write if into other languages, but here we are writing when. So when condition this true, then write this. When condition this true, write this. When condition or no condition is found, then default, we have a default condition, and we'll write that statement, and then we'll write end, and then we'll give that particular column a certain name, because this is the calculated field and we need to give certain name to that particular calculated field. So now we'll go and we will see quickly how to use case query. Okay, so now this is my example of case query. I have written it, select star from employee. So I will execute it first again. Now if you see, I have total 9 records. Now what I am doing here, I have taken 3 columns, that is di, the first name, last name and salary, these only 3. Now what I am doing here, I am calculating a calculated field of for salary, where what I have written here is case when or if you want to understand it into the Java or C++ language, if salary is greater than 40,000, then write this. If salary is less than 40,000, then write salary is not greater than 40,000. And else is a default condition, else salary is equals to 40,000. If it is not greater, if it is not less, then it will be equal. Okay, then and as column name, this is my alias for this particular whole case. Okay, we have seen alias, how to write alias. So this is the alias for this particular whole case. Now I have one condition, two condition and three condition, but out of these three only one will be executed, not all the three will be executed. Okay, so understand that for each and every column, or for each and every row, I mean to say, not for if you see, I have total 9 records, but for each and every row it will be only one result. Either this will be true for one condition, for this will be true for other for other row, or this will be true, not all three will be true for any one value. Okay, so only one will be coming over there. So now see, this make salary column, this make salary column is not present in employee table, if you can see over here. So now if I execute this, I get this column. This is my calculated field, and this is what is used mostly into Tableau. So we are calculate using the calculated field. So if you see, we have first name, last name, salary, and make salary column. So now if we see 25,000 salary is not greater than 40,000. Here if you see, salary is greater than 40,000, salary is equal to 40,000. Okay, so all these three conditions are true into the first three statements only. So we'll see all if you check all rest of them, they are also true. So that is how the case query works. Now your assignment is to find more examples on case query, to find to join more than one table or more than two tables using join, and then use or insert select into, and then create a replica of those joins table. Okay, these are your two assignments. Now we will see how to use logical operator. So now we have already seen these logical operators as and when into other examples, but now officially we are learning about the operators, and there are some new operators as well. So the first and foremost is all. We have used recently all and any. So what happens in when we use all? So all is if true, if all the subquery value meets the condition. So we have certain conditions into subquery. It is, as I mentioned, it is used with nested query or subquery. So when a subquery has all the results as true, it returns the true. Okay, and when we are using so and is used for it gives true. We will talk about true only. So true if all the condition is separated by and is true. When we have two conditions, both should be true. If we have more than two, they should also be true. Then the final outcome will be true. Okay, this is also again used with the subquery. any is again used with subquery. So we will be writing if any of the condition, if we have more than one condition and any one condition is true, at that time it will returns as us as true. Okay, then we have between. So between is a range of condition where we take the, we use it with where condition, where with between. So if that any record into the table lies between that particular range, it will returns as true and it will returns or print us the values. We'll see the example as well, but first of all we'll complete this. Now the second one is exist. So we have seen the example of exist into the revision of this video only. So exist is nothing but uh, it checks the condition of the subquery whether that particular value or that condition is true or not, and if it is true it gives the true result to the main query. Then we have seen about in. So in and between are similar, works on similar line. When we have more than one more than two what we call as a more than two values to be compared, at that time we use in. So how we do it? We write select star from employee where salary in 10,000, 20,000, and 30,000. So what happens is now it will give me the records of the all the employees who has salary more than equals to 10,000, who has salary equals to 20,000 and equals to 30,000. That is how in works. In means give me all the records which satisfy my this condition. Okay, so now we'll see the next one, that is like. So like we have seen, like with wildcard operators. So like is nothing but the conditions which are used to match the parameters. Okay, match the operand patterns into the strings and characters. Basically it is used with wildcard characters, and we can find any particular record. So we will write select star from employee where employee name starts with A or starts with R or starts with V or start with something. At the time we use like, and then we use it. Okay, then we'll see not. So not is displays a record if the condition is not true. So we will also see this not example, like how not is used. It is basically simply used with any condition. So we can write where not equals to not like. We will use like and not like with with the combination of like. So basically not is used with like, and it will be operated only on characters and not numbers. Please keep in mind. Now or is nothing but the same thing which is checking the or condition. So if we have and an or, you can consider if I am asking you that give me these information of those employees whose salary is greater than 10,000 and whose salary is less than 50,000. So you will give me the records of 10,000 for 20, 30, 40, and 50. Okay. But if I ask you, give me the records of employees whose salary is greater than 10,000 or less than 60,000. So greater than 20,000 or greater than 10,000 or and greater than 60,000. So in this case, you are giving me the range, and in that range, I need to find out that those results, and I need to give those results. So we will see the example to be more clear on this perspective. We'll see it in a short while. Okay, now the last is sum. So sum is condition where it is used for the subquery again. Sum, all, any, exist. These are used with subqueries. Okay. So whenever you are dealing with subqueries, please understand or please keep in mind. Then whenever you have when a subquery executes, it gives certain results or certain conditions. On the basis of that, it again process that. So let's suppose I have written a query select star from employee where salary is greater than sum, and then I have written select select salary from employee where salary is greater than 20,000 or 50,000. So now in 50,000 it will give me, let's suppose it gives me 60,000 and 70,000 more than 50,000. So now it will take the first record and it will compare after that. So it will take the 70,000 as a result. I will show you that. Okay, so now we'll see the operators. So we'll go by one with all the operators. So the first operator is select star from salary. We'll go with the salary sum first. Okay. So if you see select salary, so now I will execute this to make guys. Okay, these are my records. So see this. I will see you show you the inner query first. I'm asking here greater than 40,000. Give me all the records who has salary greater than 40,000. So this fails. This is passed. Then 1 2 3 4 5 6, but my first record is 55. So it takes 55 and then 55 will be here, then 55 will be thrice, then 60 65 and then 65. So now it will take 55 the first one and then salary greater than sum. So 55 next to 55 it is 60. So now it will give me 65 one record only. That is how it works. So I will show you this. First of all, it takes these. Okay, now greater than 40,000. So now my records are 50 50 50 50 55 55 55 then 60 65 60. Okay, now it all the records are here. Okay, consider it, assume it. Okay, then salary is greater than this one, which one? 55. So if I get the salary as 55 greater than 55, it will be 60 65 60. Three records should be there: 60 65 and 60. See, these three records are there. So that's how sum works. Now we'll see all. So what is happening here? Again, this all works with subquery. So salary, select salary from employee where salary is equals to 55,000. I'll execute this. I got three results where salary is exactly equals to 55,000. Now I will get all the records which has salary as 55,000. Okay, so this is how, that is how salary all works. That is how sum works. Now I will see for 40,000. Now same condition where salary is equals to 40,000. I'll see how many records are there for 40,000. For 40,000 we have only two records which where 40,000 salary is equals to 40,000. Any record. No, it is asking for any record which is equals to 40,000. So it gives me both the records because it asks any, but the first record is executed and then the second record is also present there. So it prints that record as well. Now we'll see about the AND condition. So AND is simple. We have salary range. I'll again execute this. Okay. Now we have salary range that is greater than 25,000 and salary is less than 60,000. So greater than 25,000, that is 55, 40, 40, 55, 55, 60, less than 60. So these three won't be coming. So now one greater than 25,000, this is 1 2 3 4 5. 5 records should be there with AND condition. Okay, if I execute this, I will be getting 5 records where 55, 40, 40, 55, 40, 55. I got 5 records. Now, if I ask for OR condition, if I ask for OR condition where salary is greater than 55,000 and salary is greater than 60,000, I'll execute the main question first. Okay, salary is greater than 55,000 where salary is greater than 55,000. No, 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 yes, yes, yes. Salary is greater than 55 here and greater than 60. So this again goes. Now I am left with or or there is a or condition. So if this condition true satisfy, it won't check the other condition. Okay, and if this first condition is not true, it will check for the other condition. So I have three records now. See, it checks the first condition, this condition true, so it does not go to the second condition, it just go to the first condition, and it finds the true records, it will give me the those true records. And that is how I got all the three records. That is the difference between any and or. It is simple to understand. That is how my teacher taught me. If you are seeing and, consider it as a multiplication. So whatever like if you are multiplying 0 and 1, that is true and false, so the result will be multiplication of 0 and 1 will always be 0. That is how the false will be the result. Or if you are adding 0 plus 1, the always the result will be 1, and that is the true condition. So that is how to easy to remember. So that is how you should also be keep in mind this thing. uh, okay, now moving on to the next thing, that is the between. Okay, now between is again used with the other operator, that is the and. So whenever we are dealing with between, we will write and. So now how we will do, print all the information of the employee where salary is between 60,000 and 70,000. Okay, salary is between 60,000, between 60, that is 60, 65, 60 and 65. I got two results. So basically two, but I have three records. So 60 and 65. These are my two records which are lies between the condition. That is how my condition executes. Now I will see the exist, the last one, the subqueries one. So see, I have two columns, or sorry, two tables over here. Employee table has 9 records, if you can see, and my department table has 3 records. Now what I have done is exists. Okay, so exists, select star from employee, select all the information where exist. What exist? I want department ID and employee ID to be matched in both the tables, and those records should be present into the department table. I want from employee table, I want those records which are present into the department table as well. And here if you see, I have Amit, Jatin, sorry, I have 3 records, 101, 123, that is 123, that is Rohit, Akhil, Atul. Rohit, Akhil, Atul. Sorry. Rohit, Akhil, Atul. Rohit, Akhil, Atul. Rohit, Akhil, Atul. These 3 records I got. That is how exist work. I have a certain condition. I want to check those records are present into the department table or not, and I want to print only those records which are present into both the tables. So I have written some condition, and then if it is exist, print those. So it is printing me those records. Okay, now moving on to in, our next operator. What in do is, it takes the first condition, it can have multiple values. We will take that one value and we will check that value with the salary, and if the record is present, we will print the whole record. If we check with the other value, if that but present, we will print the record. That is how it do. So I will execute this. So if you can see, I have 25,000 one, 40,000 twice, and 60,000 twice. So I will be getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 records I will be getting. That is how I got 25, 40, 40, 60, 60. So it is giving me salary range, salary in or condition basically. Okay, that is how in works. Now we'll see like. So like works, select star from employee where, give me all the information of the employee where first name is equals to R. So now I will execute this first. So see, this first name, the first name column has Rohit, Amit, Akhil, Atul, Ankit, no R, Rohit, Ramesh. Now this this record, if you see, I want all the first names who starts from R. So Rohit and Ramesh are only two records which present into the employee table which starts with R. If I change it to A, if I change it to A, I will be getting all Amit, Akhil, Atul, Ankit, Ankita, Ankur. I'll be getting all these records. See, Amit, Akhil, Atul, Ankit, Ankita, Ankur. That is how like works. Now I will execute the original one. Now if I use not with like, not R, not R, but exclude R and include everything. So I am excluding this and this, and now I'll be left with this, with all A and V. If I execute this, I'll be getting like this. That is all Ankit, Ankit, Amit, all starting name with A and then with Vikas as well, but not with the R. Okay, that is all for today. If you have any questions, any doubts, or any confusion about the topic, you can always comment, put me a comment. I will be replying on those comments as early as possible, and we will be discussing about it. We have seen today all the logical operator cases and insert into, and this is your assignment to prepare each and every condition into your system, and practice those questions. And if you find any difficulty, come back to me. That's all for today.